Welcome to the Daily Tanya. Today is Sunday, the third day of Sivan, and today we'll begin the last chapter of Tanya, chapter 53 of the first book. But we'll learn first the lesson of yesterday from Shabbos, the second day of Sivan, the end of chapter 52. Let's begin with Tzedakah, Gedolah Tzedakah, Shemekareves Es HaGeula. Tzedakah brings Mashiach closer. So we learned in chapter 52, the Alter Rebbe talks about the Shechina. We said the Shechina is such a high divine light that cannot be contained in the world unless it is concealed with garments. What is the garment? We said the garment is the Torah and the mitzvahs. The Torah and the mitzvahs can be a garment of this great light and not be nullified itself, because the source, the root of the Torah itself is much higher than the Shechina itself. It's much a greater level of light than the Shechina. So the Torah is the garment and through which the Shechina is being transferred and vivifies every single level, every single world. And the Alter Rebbe explains that we're talking about the four worlds in general, and that in each and every world, the Shechina goes through the brain of that world, the intellect of that world. Just like in human beings, we said the example that in human being, the brain is the nerve center. From this, life goes through to the entire body. The same thing is the brain, the intellect, he calls it the Kodesh Kadoshim, the Holy of Holies of every world, contains the light, and that is through this world, through this Holy of Holies, the light of the Shechina goes through the entire world and brings about the creation of the souls and the angels, everything that is in this world. Now, generally speaking, when we speak about the four spiritual worlds, the world of Atzilus is obviously the world of emanation, world of godliness. Everything is one with Hashem there. Now, the way it goes, that light, the Malchus of Atzilus, the last level of Atzilus, this is the hub. This is the place where the Shechina goes. This is from Malchus of Atzilus, which, as we said, what corresponds when we're talking about each world has the 10 attributes. Yeah, we have the 3 intellectual attributes. We have the 6 emotive attributes. And then you have Malchus, the kingship, which is the element that brings out reveals you to the outside. And that is referred to speech. Speech in a human being reveals you to the outside. So Malchus is Peh. Malchus is the speech, is the mouth that creates the next world, reveals to the outside of you. So the way it works, Alter Rebbe says, Malchus of Atzilus, which is the Shechina, the last level of Atzilus. From Malchus of Atzilus, it goes to the next world, the world of Beria. But how does it go? How does it work? This light of the Malchus of Atzilus goes first into the brain of the world of Bria, the intellect of the world of Bria, which is the Torah of the world of Bria. And then from there, from the Chachma, it goes into the last level of Malchus, the Malchus of Beria, which is the second world. And from Malchus of Beria, it brings about the creation of all the entities that belong to this world, the world of Beria. And the same thing happens to the next world, the world of Yetzirah, the world of formation. That first, the light goes into the Malchus of Atzilus, goes through Malchus of Bria, and then goes into the world of Yetzirah. Where in the world of Yetzirah? In the brain of the world of Yetzirah. The Chabad, the Chachma bin Das, the intellect, the godly intellect. And from the Chabad of Yetzirah goes into Malchus of Yetzirah, which Malchus is the element of revelation. And Malchus of Yetzirah brings about all the creations of the world of Yetzirah. And the same thing happens with the world of Asiya, the world of action. Now, what is revealed in terms of the Torah in these worlds? So he says, in the world of Bria, it's called the world of the intellect. The Torah that is revealed in that world is the Torah of the Talmud, the Gemara, because the Talmud is about the intellect. And Talmud is about analyzing everything. What is revealed in the next world, the world of Yetzirah, world of formation, this is the world of emotions. The emotive attributes of Atzilus is revealed in the world of Yetzirah. And in terms of the Torah, it is the Mishnah. The Mishnah is considered more of an emotive study, because what is the Mishnah? The halacha, the clear law. This is okay, this is not. I love this, I don't like this. This is about more like emotive concept. That is revealed in the world of Yetzirah. So this is what it says in today's, in chapter 52, and then we'll go to chapter 53. First, let's see yesterday's lesson from Shabbos, the second day of Sivan. So the Alter Rebbe now, as this wisdom came down by progressive descent from world to world, the Shechina too came down and clothed itself in it in each world. This is the shrine of the Holy of Holies, which is contained in each world. The intellect of each world is considered the shrine, just like the human brain. So also it has been stated in the Zohar and its Chaim that the Shechina, which is Malchus of Atzilus, the attributes of kingship of the highest world of Atzilus, being the manifestation of the light and vitality of the blessed Ein Sof, which illumined the worlds, wherefore it is called God's speech. That's why it's called God's speech and the breath of his mouth, as it were. For the purpose of speech is to reveal that which was concealed in thought. So that is why the Shechina is called Malchus, is Malchus the Atzilus, and that is called the speech. That is why it is called the Alma de Isgalia, the revelation of godliness. Al derech moshel, it says, just like by human, speech is something which reveals. Al derech moshel kamoi shebe'odam adibur umegalo machshavta yastuma v'nelom al hashamim. As in the case of a person, by way of example, speech reveals to the hearers the speaker's concealed and hidden thoughts. So the same applies to above. Malchus of Atzilus, the level at which the light of the Ein Sof and the previously concealed vitality becomes manifest. So this is called God's speech, for it reveals godliness to the worlds. Now what happens with this level of Malchus of Atzilus? Now this goes to the next world. After Atzilus comes the world of Beria. And in the world of Beria, the world of creation, which is the world of intellect, where does it first enclose itself? In the brain of the world of Bria, which is the Chachma bin Adas, the intellect. It clothes itself in the shrine of the Holy of Holies of Beria, namely the Chachma, Bina, and Das of Beria. Because when we're talking about the brain, the Chachma, Bina, Das is called the Holy of Holies. Why? Because this is the Holy of Holies. It is the wisdom of Hashem, which is the Torah, the mitzvahs. This is God's wisdom. And through the fact that the latter Sephiros clothe themselves in the Malchus, so through the fact that the latter spheres clothe themselves into Malchus of Beriah, which, as we said, Malchus is the element of revelation, the souls and angels which exist in the world of Beriah have been created. So that's the way it works. It goes first, the Shekhinah goes first into the highest, into the shrine of the Beriah. From there, it encloses itself into Malchus, into the speech which is about the revelation of that light. And through this, all of the neshamas, all of the souls of that world is being created. And now in terms of the Torah, which level of the Torah that we have is revealed from that world of Beriah, that is the Talmud, as we said, because Beriah is about the intellect, and the Talmud is the intellectual way of studying Torah. And from there also, from Malchus of Beriah, in which is enclosed the Shekhinah, meaning Malchus of Atzilus, which previously had clothed itself in the Chachma, Bina, and Das of the world of Beriah, after which the latter are clothed in Malchus of the world of Beriah, derives the Talmud that we possess. As has been previously been explained in the name of the Tikkunim, in the name of the Zohar. And why is that? Because God's intellect of Atzilus is revealed in the world of Beriah in a way that the neshamas and the angels are capable of grasping that light. So as explained there, that in the world of Bria, there shine the flow forth the Chachma, Bin, and Das of the Ein Sof in a powerfully contracted manner, in order that the souls and the angels, which are finite beings, shall be able to receive influence from these categories of Chabad, Chachma bin Das. And Velochein nimshach mishum Talmud, shu gam kem bechinas Chachma bin Das. Therefore, the Talmud, not the Mishnah, but the Gemara, also originate from there, from the world of Beriah. Why? Because the Talmud is also of the category of Chabad. Talmud because the Talmud consists of the clearly defined reasons of the halachas, the laws, and the reasons being rational are from the category of Chabad, intelligence. Now the laws itself is more emotive. And the laws themselves found in the Mishnah derive from the midos, the emotive attributes of the Ein Sof, namely kindness, severity, mercy, and so on. From which originate the permission and prohibition, permission deriving from kindness and prohibition from severity, ritual validity and invalidity, liability and blamelessness. Ritual validity and blamelessness originate from the attribute of kindness, and ritual invalidity and liability originating from the attribute of severity, as explained in the Tikkunim in the Zohar. Now continues the Alter Rebbe to explain the same thing, what happens with the next word. Malchus the Bria. Mislabeshes beheichal kodesh kadoshim de Yetzira. Now, by virtue of the clothing of Malchus of Atzilus in Malchus of Beria, so the last level of Atzilus, the Shechina in Atzilus in the highest world, when it comes down all the way to the world of Malchus of the next world, the world of Beria, it clothed itself into the shrine of the Holy of Holies of Yetzira, of the next world down. This being the Chabad of Yetzira. Chachma bin and Das of Yetzira, it is in this manner that the Shechina of Malchus of Atzilus ultimately comes to reside in the world of Yetzira. So it comes through the word Malchus of Beria into the shrine, into the Chabad, the intellect, the Holy of Holies of the world of Yetzira. And then when it comes from the Holy of Holies of Yetzira, from the Chabad of Yetzira goes down to Malchus of Yetzira, this is when it is able to create the souls, the ruchos. When the ladder when later on the ladder of Malchus of Atzilus, together with the spheres in which it is enclosed in Malchus of Beria and in Chabad of Yetzira, are clothed in Malchus of Yetzira, the souls which are called ruchos are created. And also V'malachim shebe Yetzira, and the angels which are of the world of Yetzira, they are also created. And again, in terms of the Torah, which level of the Torah is revealed there? That is the level of the Mishnah, which is more emotional. It is halacha. וגם משומי המשנה שלפנינו שהיא הלכות פסוקות הנמשכות גם כן מחב"ד של אין סוף ברוך הוא. From there, from Malchus of Yetzirah, comes the Mishnah that we possess, which comprises the legal decisions that are likewise derived from Chabad. It's from Hashem's intellect of the blessed Ein Sof. However, רק שבחינת חב"ד, שהם טעמי הלכות, הם מלובשים וגנוזים בגופי הלכות ולא בבחינת גילוי. Only that the categories of Chabad, that is the reason and interpretations of the halachas, are clothed and hidden within the laws themselves and are not in a revealed form. Because in the Gemara, as we said in the Gemara, this is the logical, the rational, the analytic. We analyze the laws, but the Mishnah is just clear laws, what is okay, what is not, and so on. But the elements of the halachas, which are in a revealed form in the Mishnah, are the very reflection of the midos of the blessed Ein Sof in their revealed form. Thus it has been explained above in the name of the Tikkunim that the 6 spheres nest in Yetzirah. They, the 6 spheres are the midos, the motive attributes, comprise in general 2 extensions, right and left. Right representing kindness, left severity. Acting forbearance, deriving from the aspect of kindness, which results in adjudicating leniently. That is to say, to permit a thing to ascend to God. Or acting in a stringent manner, and so on, declaring the object to be forbidden for use, and thereby precluding its elevation to holiness. So this is an act of severity. So these 2 traits, kindness and severity, represent the 2 general directions of the emotive attributes as they exist above and from which the halachas of the Mishnah derive. However, it's all based on the godly intellect of Atzilus. All this, both the Mishnah and the Talmud, is according to the supernal Chachma of Atzilus, and Bina and Das are comprised in it. And in turn, this Chachma Vatzilus, as we said many times, God's intellect is one with God Himself. And they, the Mishnah and the Talmud, and the illumination of Chabad and Midas found in them, are united with the blessed Ein Sof, for in all of them are clothed Chabad of Atzilus, with which the light of the blessed Ein Sof is united in a perfect union. And the next thing, the same way, it happens to the next world of action. In like manner, in the same manner that the Shekhinah first clothed itself in the level of Malchus of Yetzirah, the Shekhinah then descends and clothes itself in the shrine of the Holy of Holies of Asiyah. Says the Alter Rebbe here, by the way, we're talking about three worlds, but there are many, many tens of thousands of different levels are also considered particular worlds. And each of these three worlds, Bria, Yitzir, and Asiyah, is subdivided into myriads of gradations, which are also called particular worlds. And the key is that the Shekhinah, which is Malchus of Atzilus, the first world, is enclosed in each and every world. It just goes through that world and it becomes more concealed through the shrine of the next world, and so on and so forth. The Malchus Atzilus Melubesh is the Malchus Shel Kol Olam Proti. Yeredes Meslabeshes Beichal Kodesh Kadoshim. The Malchus of Atzilus, the level of the Shekhinah, is clothed in A, the level of Malchus of each particular world, and B, moreover, through the above mentioned clothing, it descends, it goes down, and C, enclothes itself in the shrine of Holy of Holies, namely the Chabad, which is in the world below it in rank. This will enable us to understand the wording of the verse. We say it every day in Ashrei. It says, Malchuscha Malchus Kol Olamim. Your kingdom is the kingdom of all worlds. What do we mean by this statement? That your kingdom will refer to Malchus of Atzilus. It is the kingdom level of Malchus of the world of Atzilus, the highest world, the world of emanation. That level is the kingdom of each and every world. That means it goes through and shines in each and every world. Continues the Alter Rebbe and says, what happens from the Shekhinah of each world? It brings about the creation of that world. It is from the Shekhinah which is clothed in the shrine of the Holy of Holies of each and every general or particular world. That light and vitality are extended and diffused to the whole world. And the creatures contained therein, the souls, the angels, and so forth. For they were all created by the 10 divine utterances of creation, this being God's speech, which is termed the Shekhinah. So until now, the Alter Rebbe explained in the end of chapter 52 about the creation of each and every world and how it comes about through the divine Shekhinah coming down and clothed and concealed through the shrine of each and every world. Continues now the Alter Rebbe in chapter 53, the last chapter of the Tanya. So in this chapter, the Alter Rebbe goes to the bottom line. What is the bottom line of creation? The bottom line of creation is our world. our physical world, Hashem wanted to be revealed in this physical world. In this physical world, says the Alter Rebbe, there is something that we don't have in the higher spiritual worlds. And that is, in the time of the Holy Temple, when we had the first temple, there was literally the godly revelation there in the Holy of Holies in a way that we did not have in the higher spiritual worlds. And in a sense, it bypassed all this filtering that there is in the higher worlds. And God revealed himself in this physical world. And we'll see how. Continues the Alter Rebbe, chapter 53. והנה כשאויה בייז ראשון קיים, שבו אויה אורן והלוחס בביסקודשי קדושים, אויסו השכינה שהיא מלכוס דאצילס בבחינת גילוי אויר אין סוף ברוך הוא. At the time of the first temple stood, in which the ark and the tablets were housed in the Holy of Holies. You know, the Holy of Holies, we had the ark, and in the ark we had the tablets that God made. It was the first tablet, the second tablets. The second tablet was carved out by Moses, but God engraved the letters, the words of the Ten Commandments in that, in the tablets. So the Shechina, which is Malchus of Atzilus, that is the revealed light of the Ein Sof, a light which intrinsically is infinite and transcends all worlds, and which nevertheless was revealed in them. Shoyresham umelobeshes ba'aseres hadibros, it dwelled there and was clothed in the Ten Commandments, which were engraved upon the tablets found in the ark in the Holy of Holies. He says this was the tablets had the Ten Commandments engraved. Our sages tell us that you literally saw godliness in the tablets. One of the miracles you saw there is the fact that it was in the engraving in the tablets was engraved through and through. Meaning, it wasn't just an engraving, it was through the tablets, through and through, from both sides. So number one, there's some letters in Hebrew, like, for example, the Samach. The Samach right here, or a final mem, which is very similar, right here. These letters, if you engrave them through and through, what happens? You have in the middle you have a piece. That blue piece in the middle will be standing miraculously without being attached to anything. If you engrave this final mem all around, so you have this middle piece left without anything holding it. So that was a miracle that everybody saw in the tablets, whoever saw the tablets. The other miracle was, the Talmud tells us, that the engraving, you were able to read the engraving, the 10 Commandments in the tablets, were able to read it from both sides. And that again, is something that doesn't make sense. It's something, it's inconceivable. You cannot appreciate. It is something that you cannot even imagine it. It's beyond our thinking, our understanding. I mean, there's many miracles Hashem makes. Some miracles in the plagues in Egypt. You see a miracle, blood, the water turned into blood. Beautiful. But you can imagine what it looks like. But can you imagine reading the engraving, the 10 Commandments, and engraving on the tablets and the stone, and reading from both sides? The same thing? That doesn't make sense. Why? Because godliness itself was revealed there in the physical tablet, which God is not limited with our perceptions. It's beyond limitations. So that's what Alter Rebbe continues and says. So there it was godliness revealed in the Holy of Holies. B'yesel se'iz v'yesel oiz megilui rava otzum yoser. Begilui rava otzum yoser megiluya v'yicholes kodesh kadoshim shelamayla oilim esel. It was revealed there far more intensely and with a greater and mightier revelation than its revelation in the shrines of the Holy of Holies above in the upper worlds. Ki aseres adibris, because he explains why. Because these 10 commandments, the 10 commandments that is on the stone, ki aseres adibris, and klolus atayra kuloi, for the 10 commandments are the all embracing principles of the whole Torah. There's the book of Rabbi Shlomo Cohen. He explains how in the 10 commandments, the entire Torah is alluded to in the 10 commandments. And the Torah, as we said, is God's wisdom. Which derives from the level of the supernal Chachma and the Chachma of Atzilus that is far higher than the world of manifestation. In that Shechina to go down to the physical tablet, physical stone, it bypassed all of this filtering going through the world like the other worlds went through. In order to engrave them on the material tablets of stone, it did not descend degree by degree, meaning that Chachma, which is the Torah, did not descend degree by degree parallel to the order of descent of the world, which descended by stages from higher world to a lower world until it reached the material world. For this material world functions through the garb of material nature. But while the tablets are the work of God. That is the first tablet. God made them, God carved them out. A divine creation in which godliness, not nature, is revealed. And the writing is the writings of God, writing in which godliness is perceived. The writing that is also in the second tablets, Moses carved them, and Hashem, God wrote them, God engraved the letters. Which is L'mayla mateva shel mazeh gashmi. It is beyond the nature of this material world. Anishpa me'or shechina shebeichel kodesh kadoshim da'asiyah, shemimenu nimshach oyer v'chayis lo'il l'masiyah, shegam oilam hazeh b'chlolei. The material world, which is derived from the radiance of the Shechina in the shrine of the Holy of Holies of Asiyah, from which light and vitality issue to the world of Asiyah, in which this physical world is also included. So he says, what was the level through which the Malchus of Atzilus was revealed in the tablets? He says, but the level of the supernal Chachma of Atzilus, consisting of the totality of the Torah, as it is encapsulated in the 10 commandments, clothed itself in Malchus of Atzilus and of Beria alone, and did not clothe itself further in the lower worlds. And they alone, Chachma of Atzilus, as it was garbed in Malchus of Atzilus and Malchus of Beria, without further vestment, united as they are with the with the infinite light of Ein Sof that is within them. Hein anikrois b'shem shchina asheira b'kodesh kadoshim b'bayis rishon. They are referred to as the Shechina, which rested in the Holy of Holies of the first temple. Through its being vested in the Ten Commandments, which were engraved by miracles. By miraculous means, in the tablets reposing in the ark. Moreover, the Ten Commandments upon the tablets were the work of the living God, the Elokim Chaim. Hu alma de iskasya, amekanen bo'ilum abriya kanoid al yedichen. This being in terms of the Sephiras, the Bina of Atzilus, which is known as the concealed world, which nests in the world of Beriah, as is known to the students of Kabbalah. So this is the way it was in the first temple. Now we know that towards the end of the first temple, King Yeshayahu, knowing that the temple is destined to be destroyed, so he ordered the tablets, the ark and the tablets, to be hidden underneath the temple in some caves that King Solomon prepared when he built the temple. And we believe that the ark is still there until today. And so what happened in the second temple? Second temple, they didn't have that ark. And yet, because of that, the second temple did not have that level of godly revelation. But there was godly revelation in the second temple to a different level, and that will explain in Mitzvah Hashem tomorrow. Have a wonderful day.